saying that all the health indicators, everything about him is better. Weight loss, boom, boom, feels better, energetic, mental health is great, it's better than it's ever been. He doesn't miss it. He's surprising that he has no cravings, no urges. He's fine. He knows he can't drink it out there. It's not a problem. It's easy. Everything's great. But when I land in the UK, I'm going to drink. That is the absurdity of the liquid lie.
Whoosh. They told us the desert would never drink, that faith would hold the line, that tradition would be immune, that some places in the world were just too sacred for the liquid lie to reach. But now, even the kingdom is cracking, not with a roar, but with a whisper. A store in the shadows, a resort on the coast, and as the world watches, another domino teeters. Hello everybody, my name is Davy. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now. I am, of course, talking about Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has been dry for over 70 years. The ban on alcohol wasn't just policy, it was identity. A line in the sand that said, not here, not us. But right now, the line is moving. I will tell you a quick story. I had a friend who used to work on the railway years and years ago with me, and he listened to this podcast and he reached out to me. He said, Lee, I have a problem with alcohol. Can you help me out? And we got into a conversation about it, and I was kind of like showing him and telling him what I could do to help. But ultimately, it came down to this. He said, there is no way that I can exist in the UK culture without drinking. There's just no way I can do it. Thanks for your help. I love your podcast, but there's no way I can do it. Okay, no problem. About a year later, I reached out to him just to see how he was doing. And he was in Saudi Arabia. He was working on a project out there. And he told me that he hadn't been drinking for, it was something like 6 months or something. He'd been working in Saudi Arabia and he hadn't been drinking because he wasn't allowed to drink out there. And I said to him, how does it make you feel? And he's like, I feel great. I feel fantastic. Like I've never been better. Lost weight, feel healthy, got the energy back, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, cool. When you go back now to the UK, just keep it going, right? Like keep it going. I like, do you miss it? He's like, no, I don't miss it. It's okay. When you go to the UK, keep it going. He said, no. When I go back to the UK, I could murder a pint. So here he is saying that all the health indicators, everything about him is better. Weight loss, boom, feels better, energetic, mental health is great. It's better than it's ever been. He doesn't miss it. He's surprising that he has no cravings, no urges. He's fine. He knows he can't drink it out there. It's not a problem. It's easy. Everything's great. But when I land in the UK, I'm going to drink. That is the absurdity of the liquid lie. Okay. And I wanted to drop this little story in because it fits in nicely to what we're talking about, which is Saudi Arabia. And earlier this year, Saudi Arabia quietly opened its first licensed liquor store for foreign diplomats only. I don't think my mate was posh enough to be a diplomat, so I don't think he was able to go there and have a drink. Just days ago, international media outlets reported plans to roll out alcohol sales in 600 luxury tourist locations by 2026. Now, the government denies it, but the denial itself reveals the tension, right? This modernization versus tradition, Western comfort versus spiritual commitment, economic ambition versus cultural soul. And right there, slithering through it all, is the liquid lie. Because this isn't about Saudi Arabia. It's about the global belief system, this invisible, violent, and dominant belief system that tells us that progress and pleasure look like clinking glasses and wine lists in the sand. That in order to compete, to attract, to grow, we must drink alcohol. And it's the same story on every continent. Alcohol is seen as a badge of modernity, social glue, the mark of being open, evolved, desirable. But what if the opposite was true? What if the presence of alcohol doesn't signal liberation, but submission? Now I'm going to take a short break, but I want you to sit with this question. Why do we keep dragging alcohol around with us into every culture, every ceremony, every frontier? Who told us that this poison is progress? I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast, where today we are digging into something far deeper than Saudi Arabia's potential booze policy. Because this isn't just a cultural footnote, this is a liquid lie. once again rearing its ugly head in plain sight, disguised as always as progress. But let it not fool you. What is really going on in Saudi Arabia isn't about the people, it's about profit. This is capitalism wearing the face of freedom. This is the liquid lie doing what it does best, convincing the world that no experience is complete without alcohol, because that is what fills the coffers. You get more tourists, more spend, more demand, so alcohol follows. Not because it's needed, not because it makes anything better, because it is a currency. I once took a helicopter ride into the Grand Canyon. I will put it up there as one of my top 5 most mind-blowing moments of natural beauty, right? A place so vast, so ancient, so humbling that it punched the breath clean out of my lungs when I landed in that sacred basin, surrounded by silence, red stone, time itself. And then the pilot, God bless him, he hands me a champagne flute. Like that moment needed enhancing, like some bubbles in a glass with a missing piece to the divine. And he really believed it. And he wasn't trying to offend me, right? He'd been trained to think that alcohol elevates, that a view isn't a view unless you're half pissed while you're looking at it, that celebration needs a clink. But it's all bullshit. It's the same bullshit being whispered to Saudi officials. Modern countries serve wine. Westerners won't come if there's no beer. If you want investment, loosen up. And so sacred ground becomes branded experience. Culture becomes compromise. Tradition is traded in for tourist tipple. And this is what the liquid light does. It colonizes joy. It repackages presence and sells it back to us with a cork jammed into the top. And we, unquestioning, conditioned, lift the glass and swallow. But strivers, don't drink the lie. We don't need poison to witness beauty. We don't need numbness to relax. We don't need champagne to honor awe. Living a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, is remembering that some moments are enough just as they are. That presence is more powerful than intoxication. That being awake, truly awake, is the real luxury of life. So when they sell you the idea that alcohol is a gift, ask who is profiting from this packaging, because it ain't you. Then you can walk away clear-eyed and full-hearted, because your joy doesn't need to be spiked to be real. Today's daily vow. Today I will not drink, because I no longer mistake alcohol for modernity, because I don't need poison to feel free, because my joy is not imported, it's innate, because the line in the stand still means something to me. The liquid lie doesn't stop at your borders. It's already in your airport, your influences, your idea of fun. It sneaks in through economic deals and development plans. But it only wins if we all stay silent. It only wins if we forget the truth. And the truth is, self doesn't drink. Some reflections for you today as you amble around the world, maybe Saudi Arabia, but I doubt anybody from Saudi Arabia is listening to this. Where in your life are you still equating alcohol with celebration, connection, or culture? How do you feel when you see alcohol being introduced in places that once resisted it? And what are you doing to dismantle the liquid lie in your own family, workplace, or culture? How are you acting? If today's episode stirred something in you, share it with one person you love. You can make the difference in their life. I'm telling you, help spread the truth. Rate and review the podcast so others can find the message, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. And if you want to begin dismantling the liquid lie in your own life, go to thestrivemethod.com and join the waiting list for the Strive Method, okay? Until tomorrow, remember, you've got this. You've got this. Don't let the world, the liquid lie, control your decision today to drink alcohol. You don't need to drink alcohol to enjoy yourself. You don't need to drink alcohol to experience the joy of life. All right, much love, everybody, and strive on. Until tomorrow.